Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of The Source. The bet of the day streak continues. That makes 7 days in a row. What a streak this is. Yesterday started off hot. Bet of the day hit. Pelicans cash. Heat and Spurs ended up both blowing big leads. So the top bets just finished 2-2 yesterday. So it ended up being a mediocre day, but the streak continues. In this video, we got a division rivalry here, a Western Conference battle. We're talking Jazz, we're talking Nuggets. Let's do it. Welcome to The Source. The Source. Source. Hey, get the Source. All right, Denver on the road in Utah here. The line is Jazz -2. Early bets are about even, but all the money's on the Nuggets. I'm talking 94% of the money on Denver. This is as of this morning at 4 a.m. Yo, check this out. A little bit of weird movement here. So the money stays on Denver, but look what happens in the early afternoon. We see a slight shift, a little 14% money shift towards Utah. Books immediately raise the line an entire point. So we're up to Utah -3 now. Seems like the books may like the Jazz here. So let's cap this game. If you subscribe to this channel, you already know the first step. We're running the numbers through the spreadsheet. According to the analytics, the line for this game should be Utah plus 1.4. So we're looking at a 4.5 point lean towards the Denver Nuggets here. All right, let's run through a quick breakdown. And I need to start with these two trends because there's two trends that jump right out at me. The Denver Nuggets, get this. Coming off a loss this year, they are 8-13 against the spread. That's bad. So the Nuggets obviously lost last night. Coming off a loss, 8-13 against the spread. It gets deeper. Now, they just played last night, like I just said. The Nuggets on back-to-backs this year, just 2-6 against the spread. So right off the bat, before we even do any capping, before we look at any analytics, we already know this is a terrible spot for the Denver Nuggets. Now, that being said, we can't just ignore how awful the Utah Jazz have been lately. They're just 2-12 straight up in their last 14 games, 2-11 against the spread in their last 13. Still no Rudy Gobert, still no Donovan Mitchell. Look, it's really tough to make a case for a Utah Jazz bet right now. One thing that needs to be noted here, we all need to cut the Utah Jazz some slack in their recent losing streak. If you look at their last 5 games, they're rated #1, toughest strength of schedule in the NBA. Check this out. At Minnesota, at Memphis, home against the Suns, at Phoenix against the Suns, and then at Golden State before that. Yo, without Gobert and Mitchell, were you expecting them to win any of those games? That's a really tough stretch here. Like I said, #1 strongest schedule in the NBA in the last 5 games. For reference, Denver Nuggets 22nd strength of schedule in the last 5. So we have to take in these tough-ass games the Jazz have been playing. Also, some more good news for the Jazz. They're at home with 2 full days off. So this team is going to be very well rested heading into tonight's game. Denver Nuggets, on the other hand, the complete opposite. This will be Denver's 6th straight road game, their 3rd road game in just 4 days, and their 6th road game in just 9 days. This team's gonna be exhausted. Now, their starters did see limited minutes last night. I think Jokic only played like 30, 31 minutes, something like that. So, I mean, they're not getting pushed, but still, 6 road games in 9 days. They just played last night in Minnesota against a really well-rested team, 2 days off. Definitely needs to be noted. Now let's take a look at these teams' previous meetings this year. They're in the same division. They've played 3 times already this year, and Jokic has dominated the Utah Jazz. He's averaging 25, 14, and 10 against the Jazz this season in those 3 games. Want to know what the Nuggets' record in those 3 games is, though? 0-3. And one of those losses came when the Jazz were missing Gobert. So the Jazz have already beaten the Nuggets without Gobert this season. So the Nuggets are yet to beat the Jazz this season. Does that end tonight? Do the Nuggets finally beat the Utah Jazz this year? Answer, no. I'm on Utah here. I'm going to lay the 3 points. I'm siding with the books. Fading all the money. Give me Utah -3. This is definitely going on the final ticket. Final ticket posted on KyleKirms.com around 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. It'll have my bet of the day, which has hit 7 straight days. We are fired up about it. It'll have my top 7 bets, parlay of the day, probably 2 parlays of the day tonight because it's a heavy slate, as well as every single pick for the entire NBA slate and every sport, posted right on KyleKirms.com. Also, if there's any crazy last-minute updates, injury updates, money shift, line movement, anything like that, I will definitely keep you posted on my Twitter, Instagram story, and Facebook. So make sure you check one of those 3 platforms before you place your bets. NBA Wednesday, I'm feeling a big one. We had a huge Monday. Let's follow it up with a huge Wednesday. Let's keep the bet of the day streak going. Let's make some big money tonight. I'll talk to you on Twitter.